Hi, I'm Bree with Sustainably Balanced Equine, and you're watching part 8 of Ollie's Barefoot Rehab video series. It's been quite a while since I have recorded and posted one of these, and I don't really have an excuse. So I'm going to do my best to kind of update you on what's been going on for both Ollie and in our lives, because as you can tell, we're at a new property. We actually recently had the opportunity to move to a rental property where we could have the horses in our yard, and I'm super excited about this because I have free reign basically over the entire property to move fence however I want to and do any upgrades, obviously with permission. But I'm super excited because I'm going to be building a track system for the horses. And the cool thing about a track system is it's really good in cases for barefoot rehab or any kind of rehab that you want to do with your horses. Movement is crucial to their health and fitness and just overall well-being. So incorporating that with a track, even on a small property like this one, is super beneficial. Another recent change is I did buzz my head. I'm wearing a hat because of the sun, but just FYI, I will not have any hair for the next part of the series. Just a personal thing. I've always wanted to do it. I'm super excited about it. I really enjoy it, but if I appear different, that's why. Right now, as far as Ollie's feet go, he is in a pair of Easycare Versa grip glue-ons. If you would like me to show how I put those on when I reset them next, definitely let me know in the comments. I would really like to share with you guys. I think it's super fun. But for all intents and purposes, they are super ugly. This last set that I did, I was not like super duper proud of the aesthetics of the work that I did, but they're on and they have stayed on, which I'm super grateful for. So the reason why I put him in the glue-ons was because back in April I integrated him in with my mares, which he is still integrated with them right now, but this was at the other barn. And there were a lot of like rocks, like pretty big rocks, maybe like this big around for the most part, out in the paddock, and he started looking super lame out there, and I felt super bad. So he actually lived in his boots for quite a long time, and luckily with the flex boots we weren't seeing any rubs or anything, but I felt like he needed more support with the rocks. So we ended up ordering a pair of glue-ons, but unfortunately I got hurt in June. I got stepped on by one of my client horses while I was trimming, and it took me until about like the end of August, beginning of September to finally put the shoes on, unfortunately. So he's been in his boots for that long, and then was finally in the shoes. He's on his second reset of this pair. So I'm going to be ordering a new pair. I haven't decided which kind yet. I was thinking the new Easycare ones. They have a little bit more support in them for the frog. There's like a different density of material and frog support there, because what I'm noticing, and you'll see in his movement, and I'll point it out, that sometimes some steps he's a little bit like that doesn't feel so great on the rocks out here, because this property does have some rocks, actually considerably more than the last one, but he seems like he's doing okay right now. It's only when I ask him to move out and lunge, which you'll see in the video later on. So definitely let me know if you would like to see the reset of his glue-ons. I'll try and keep up on these videos every week. I can't make any promises, especially with winter coming up, and now they're on my property, so I'm taking care of them. So we will see, but I'm going to try and be more consistent about updates for Ollie, because overall I do feel like he has been doing a lot better. He seemed to really like the glue-ons, so I might keep him in them just for this winter and then pull them again in spring and see how he does barefoot. But I also have ridden him, I think 2 or 3 times since last October, and he's already feeling so much better and his body is looking so much better. So overall I feel like he's doing better than he was when we pulled his shoes last year, but I don't think that he's ready to go fully barefoot. And I think that that's a really important thing to bring up in a barefoot transition or rehab. Sometimes they do need more support, and I kind of went through all of the levels, like when I did the glue on pads and then transitioning him into hoof boots from the pads and hoof armor. I think that there's a lot of different tools that we can use nowadays that aren't just throwing steel shoes back on, because I feel like overall Ollie has pretty weak feet, and sometimes that's genetics with the way that they're bred, unfortunately. And in order to support them growing a better foot, there are just so many different options. I'm super excited that we have access to the glue-ons, so then we can make him feel a little bit more comfortable during this transition. And I'm also fine with putting them on for, not for the rest of his life, I guess, but like for like certain scenarios, especially like if I want to work him or make him move over rocks and stuff, because ideally I would like to start riding him more and doing more intensive groundwork and stuff to really help build up his muscles in the right direction. So having extra support really helps with that, because when their feet are super sore, their body is not going to be able to relax and carry a human properly. So I think that covers it. Just let me know if you'd like to see the glue-on process for the next video, so I know to schedule and plan content for that as well. And we will get into his feet and his movement. So as you can see over to the left where my mares are at, there's just a giant mud pit. This is why I got permission to move these panels in the first place. It was absolutely terrible. We got rain the weekend before I recorded this video, and I needed to touch Ollie's hind feet up with a trim. So I just went ahead and hosed them off. And I don't know about you guys, but I love fall. Like, I think it's so fun. I found. It's so cute. So of course, when I saw that in the grass, I had to show you guys. I thought that these clips were really nice to kind of show like what his body is looking like recently. I feel like he's put on a decent amount of weight since I got him. Not that he needed it, he was just a little bit on the skinnier side. But overall, like, he's just opened up so much. Like, all of the contraction that we were seeing along his spine and like through his hind end has really relaxed a lot. And I think part of that is due to the turnout that he's been getting just over the last year, and also getting his feet more comfortable with the shoes. We also did a lot of in hand work over the spring to really help him to carry himself better. But unfortunately, since I got hurt in June, I haven't been doing much with him. So he's literally been sitting since June. So that's like 3 months. Like, I haven't done very much with him except for keep up on his hoof care, make sure that he's doing okay. So you can really see how much his back and his top line have changed over the year that we've had him. There's still some like underdevelopment throughout his top line, especially around his withers and his neck and stuff. But I foresee that building up really well over time, like when I can get him back into a better work program and stuff. Another thing too, he's also been dealing with these flares on his hind feet still. He's had them since I pulled his shoes, but you can really see it in this clip where the outside of his hoof is really flared out. I have done a lot to correct these with the trim, but I do feel like they're kind of linked to pelvic instability. So I'm hoping that with the work that we do with in-hand work and getting some more body work done, that it will help. But he may always deal with these flares, unfortunately. Like, as much as I'd like them to make, or as much as I'd like to make them go away, they may not. So what I'm doing here is just cleaning up the sole. He got a little bit yanky. I feel bad because he was kind of standing on a hill and he was getting yanky, and I was getting a little bit frustrated. But it's not a big deal. I just kind of go with the flow, let him relax and have his foot, and work as fast as I can in order to support him. But I do feel like getting him trimmed every couple of weeks on these hinds has been super helpful to develop a better sole on them and help him feel better. But As a precaution, I have been putting his boots on his hind feet while I've been working him. So I'm putting them on here before I lunge him. I've just noticed that like his frogs, especially after I got injured, his frogs kind of started to deteriorate a little bit. Um, it's been like on and off muddy, and sometimes if they're left alone and not picked out a lot and they like to stand in their own poop like he does, they will develop thrush. So they've been a little bit tender. So just as a precaution, I've been making sure to put his boots on whenever we do anything, especially like as we transition to a new property that has more rocks on it. We have like a lava rock driveway and then all of those big rocks in the new pen that they're in. I was actually talking to a neighbor and he told me that there basically used to be an entire parcel of property that was like set up into three different properties, and there was a driveway that went through all the way to the back, so you can see his house in the back there on the right of the screen. So there were a bunch of rocks and like all sorts of sizes, like there's some like huge piles of giant rocks in the back. So um, what we're dealing with is just like this old driveway that's basically throughout the entire piece of this property. So, just as a precaution, I put his boots on his back feet. He's not turned out with them 24/7 right now. I just find it takes a little bit of the edge off. Luckily, the pasture is super soft, and where I'm about to lunge him is really soft, except for like this one spot that has the old driveway or whatever. So, that's been just helpful to give him the support that he needs. So here's his posture. You can see he looks a lot more comfortable. He's been able to stand a lot more square. Sometimes he'll poke out a front foot like he is right there, but overall, I feel like he just looks so much more comfortable. And here are my ugly glue ones. Don't judge the glue job. Like, we were just trying to get it done, trying to get it on, and dealing with my injury and stuff. But he seemed super happy in them, so I'm super excited to reset them. All right, so you can already see, like, throughout his entire back and top line, he's a lot more fluid than he was before. Especially right after we pulled his shoes last fall. But even before, I had noticed he was very much like he was super stiff throughout his whole back, and like his withers didn't move very much. The top of his pelvis didn't move very much. So I'm really liking what I'm seeing recently. He seems pretty serviceably sound, except for when he hits a rock here and there, which we'll see in a second. Kind of like in the front of where we filmed right here, you can see like where that old gravel driveway was, and every once in a while he'll kind of go and have a little gamp to his step. But I feel like this is a massive improvement compared to last year, when he was like resistant to move out at all and he would put his head up really high while he was moving. I really like that he's able to get his head below his withers, which being on the grass didn't help. He was trying to catch a bite here and there, but I kind of felt like it might be super supportive for him to be able to stretch his top line as he moves. And I feel like too in his trot, he's pretty sound. He actually goes a lot better to the right. Oh, there was the little bump there. If you notice his little stumble over the rocks, but he has a lot easier of a time going to his right now. He is due to have his teeth done again. He was done last October, so I do need to get him floated again to see if that will help with his little head movement there. Um, but yeah, overall, I'm really liking the direction that he's going in. So this was after we had been going for a while. The clips before were at the beginning of our session, and I feel like he was able to relax and get a lot more fluid. It's been pretty cold recently, so I feel like even though he's had movement out in the pasture, like getting him really forward and lunging will be super helpful for his joints and stuff, because he did turn 17 this year. So he's no spring chicken. And movement really helps get their joints lubricated and help them feeling a lot better. So um, I really liked his stop right here. I actually went ahead and checked his top line, which is what I'm doing right now. I just want to like look for any signs of like tension that are showing up throughout his movement. And it seemed like it was staying pretty loose, which I was super excited about because historically, whenever I've lunged him, he's actually gotten more tight because he'll throw his head up, especially in the round pen. I don't know if he's had previous experiences in the round pen where he's just been chased around or whatever, which makes them kind of throw their head up and tense their muscles, which is the opposite of what I want. So I was like, okay, looks good. Let's move him out on the lunge on the other direction. And here you can tell he seems a lot stiffer going to the left than he does to the right. I think I recall mentioning that, especially with like where he'd kind of have like a little toe grab with his left front. So I'm super interested to see if that is going to stick around for longer than I thought it would, or if it has to do with their teeth, because sometimes their teeth being out of balance proprioceptively can impact that, like where they can feel where their foot is at and how they can really have a correct bend through their head and neck and rib cage. But overall, I'm honestly super proud of him. I feel like he's looking really, really good recently, and he's been stopping nicely instead of just like bulldozing through all of my cues and stuff. So I'm super proud of him and super excited to have this progress video up compared to last year because he's just come so far. And I'm really looking forward to hopefully sharing more of our riding journey and also the resetting of the shoes or doing new shoes. So definitely let me know in the comments like if there's anything that you would like to see, especially like the resetting of the shoes or like our building our track system and everything. I love making content, so it'd be super fun. Anyway, thank you so much for watching and I'll see you later.